What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. I apologize because I am operating here without all of my equipment. So I just want to make sure everything looks good. It tested okay, and it sounds like it's coming through okay. If you hear too much of like a skipping of the music or echoing of music, let me know. But since I'm not wearing my headphones today, we'll see how it goes. But I don't know about you guys. If you just finished the town hall like I did following that announcement. So some major things going on in the Splinterlands world right now. And actually, let me go back to the announcement because I'm sure we'll probably spend some time discussing that. So let me open that up. I was also tracking just to see where we're at. So I don't know how SPS is just like barely hanging on here to 1.5 cents, but it is what it is. So we are at a point where, hey man, bear markets kill projects, and I'm not saying that Splinterlands is dead. I'm just saying that it's been a rough go. So I already did a video for this. But obviously, I even have some notes here set aside from that town hall in case you didn't catch all of it or you haven't listened to it yet. But there's a lot. So I haven't done my 5 biggest takeaways yet. I figure I'll talk through a lot of this stuff with you guys today, see where we end up, and then work my way towards that later today. But the announcement, obviously, the restructuring of the entire company. You got Splinterlands going to Matt, and then Aggie going over to the Invenium side, which will be 2 completely different entities under the Steam Monsters Corporation. So they're still working together. They're still doing all the stuff that they need to do. It's still all under one big umbrella. But, revenue, expenses, all that stuff is going to be separated out. So let me see here. We got Gregory Levenfield in the house. What is going on, man? Good to see you. So, as I go through my notes here, oh man, there's a lot, and I'm trying to figure out because I haven't organized these yet. These are just raw notes. So the main thing, obviously, with Matt going over, and I think that this is probably going to be an important thing to touch on, because somebody had asked Matt what was like, how will the business operate differently under him than under Aggie? And one of the things that he said is that he's operating on a much more kind of conservative time frame. And if you know Aggie's like been waiting for this bull run to come around. I thought it was interesting. I don't think that Matt was necessarily taking like a shot at Aggie, but at the same time, like, he was a little critical about, we've been running the business in a certain way with the expectation that a bull run is right around the corner. Obviously, that hasn't been the case. To Aggie's defense, I will say that I was expecting more of an exciting summer. You had a lot of things going on, including the spot Bitcoin ETF news earlier. You had a lot of Bitcoin friendly things happening around the world, specifically like in Hong Kong. So I wasn't thinking that we were going to get into a bull run by any means, but I was under the impression that the summer would have been a good time for crypto. Obviously, that didn't necessarily work out to be the case, but going back to the Splinterlands, or what they had asked Matt, when you kind of look at it with that perspective that we're just right around the corner from a bull run, well, you don't take the steps necessary probably to cut. So Matt was saying that this is something that needed to happen for a while. I'm assuming Aggie probably held off on it as long as he possibly could, because still no bull run. Next month could be interesting, and completely separate of Splinterlands. I am excited for next month because I think once we're done with September, not that it's going to be straight up and to the right, but there's a good chance. We're hearing a lot of rumors about the Bitcoin ETF, spot Bitcoin ETF here in the US, and that could help things. But obviously we didn't make it, and the problem is we didn't make it to October with the releases of major products for Splinterlands, right? We didn't get land anytime between June through September. I'm still not going to get it, right? Now we're hearing Soul Keep is, you know what? I didn't like this about Soul Keep. Matt said Soul Keep has been a distraction. So it's like, wow, soon to very soon to after land to it is a distraction. And we will put it to the side until land and rebellion are out. So for all the Soul Keep salt lords out there, I'm sure you're gonna have a blast with that one. All right, let me see here. We got KQ Forever in the house. What's going on? Is this Town Hall Salt Fest Part 2? JK, I'm actually glad they're making this move. Sad to say. Love all the people who work for this team, but they're spending too much. No, this isn't meant to be Salt Fest. It's more cry on each other's shoulder fest, whatever you want to call it. Only objective analysis here, but not financial advice. Never financial advice. This is a gaming channel. But good to have you here, guys. So thoughts on Land 1.5 release. I'm hoping they don't launch Land next week as I go on vacay. Fingers crossed they don't. I don't think Land is coming next week. Now, here's the thing with Land. Again, I'm just looking through the notes that I was taking on my phone. All right, so where's Land? Okay, so Farpatrod talked a little bit towards the beginning about the next Mav build coming out later this week. I think that's going to include all the stuff for like keeps and castles and all the other bugs that they're trying to fix. I don't know, and somebody can maybe confirm this. My understanding was that this might be the last like test build, and if it is the last test build, then we could expect Land after that, right? So it's like basically it's like if they're going to push this out and then we QA it as a community, right, and everything's good, we could see Land potentially after that. So if I pull up my calendar here, all right, so today's the 25th of September. So if we get out another Land build sometime this week, the 29th, I think they'd still want to have probably another week. So I would say, for you, KQ Forever, I really don't think we're going to see an October 3rd. So like, a week from tomorrow, I don't think we'll see a Land release then. I would say if anything, the earliest I would expect would be October 10th. Now, that being said, if Farpatrod does go in and knock stuff out, by the end of tomorrow, then they'd have a full week. So maybe, but I don't know. I think we need to wait until the dust somewhat settles from the announcement today. So I just don't think that they're gonna be rushing to get anything out. I mean, at this point, it's so late already. Like, why? Like, it's so late already. Community sentiment is at an all-time low. You just killed community sentiment even further to a certain extent. I know people here are gonna rationalize and say, it's a good thing, and I'm not saying that it's not a good thing, right? Some action needed to be taken. Looks like that action is being taken, but action's being taken because we're not in a good spot. So good action, but bad situation. So yeah, October 10th. Again, my guess, but me, I always get made to look like a fool whenever I talk about any expectations for releases with Splinterlands. All right, so we did that. Weirdbeard leaving hurts the most. Yeah. I had a chance to chat with Weirdbeard. I'm sure many of you will over the next couple of whatever. I think that means goodbye game modes, honestly. So, that sucks. It really does. I was looking forward to stuff like Battle Pass and all these other things, and I just don't think that we are. I don't want to say ever, but I don't think that stuff is coming anytime soon. Cells BC. All right, Kiki for I love Weirdbeard, but talking about a cool future is different than implementing it. Yeah, I think with Weirdbeard, it was the vision that he had for like really taking this game to the next level that we all appreciated. And he brought so much passion and enthusiasm. He really understands gaming culture, probably the best. Again, just like from a general knowledge, gaming culture, probably the best of anyone on the team. Again, I could be wrong, but from everybody that I had encountered, had significant conversations with, or got to see. So yes, to me, it sucks because I really would have loved to see the vision that he had for Splinterlands get implemented. But at this point, I wish him well. I hope he's able to land on his feet somewhere. And if you guys are, aware of any Web3 opportunities, I think that'd be really cool. I think he could be a tremendous asset to literally any game that he gets into. He just understands it. He knows how to interface with the community. Just one of my favorite people. All right, so Lunacy System. Knowing the money spent on Rebellion will go into the future of the game instead of Aggie's ADHD experiments will get the most money out of me I can muster. Interesting. So here's a little bit more of a bullish sentiment from Lunacy System, and that's not a bad. That's not a. Let me put it this way. See, a lot of my thoughts are still forming, but you're absolutely right. There were a lot of ways in which Splinterlands expanded into a bunch of other projects, from a year and a half ago, right, to now, going all the way back to the announcement for Warner Music Group, which never materialized, but obviously there was that. Then we got into Soulkeep, which is still, it's still part of Splinterlands, but that was something that was kind of off to the side, at least not part of the main game. It was really once we got into Genesis League and, of course, Invenium, all that stuff. So, to your point, Lunacy System, now it's like if you know that each of your dollars is going to go towards, well, half of it's going to go towards the DAO, meaning that you as an SPS stakeholder get to decide what we do with it in the future, and the other half goes towards a team that is solely focused on Splinterlands. Yes, I mean, I can see a huge benefit for that, especially people who didn't really care about the other side of things, right? With not Invenium, but Genesis League goals. So Harry's asking, can you elaborate on Aggie and Matt's history? Are they the two main co-founders of Splinterlands? And if so, can you imagine being a co-founder getting the boot from the company you started? So let's be very clear here. This looks like it was a decision made by the board that both Aggie and Matt were very much a part of making. So I don't think it's getting the boot. And I don't know any of the inside stuff. So I'll be honest with you guys, because obviously, people had reached out to me and they're like, did you know about this? What's going on? No, I was super excited for the town hall today. Because oh, Matt's going to be on. We're going to hear about land stuff. We're going to hear about Rebellion and all that. And then of course, that dropped and I was like, okay. This time I didn't even get invited to any internal meetings. So I didn't even know what was going on with it. But that's where it's at. So yeah, I don't know. Are the two main... Okay, so we did that already. Aaron Kennedy, what's going on? October 10th works for me selfishly. Fair enough. SPS hit another new all-time low. I mean, we've been flirting with it for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, today's news was not bullish at all. Do you guys have music on your end? I can hear it here, so you guys probably do. 0.151. See, so this is 4 days ago, September 22nd. But I wouldn't be surprised if we, if we just start setting new records soon. Archmage, long time. How are you? In my opinion, if all these changes were necessary, then this is a good thing for the future. And it was reassuring to get some transparency on the current situation, some answers to many questions. Yeah. You know what I struggle with is the fact that these comments just seem so similar to the comments from 10 months ago in November of last year, where people are like, yeah, it sucks, but it's good. It needed to happen. And then look where we ended up 10 months later. So again, I'm not trying to be like a salty bear here, but I don't want to have to keep saying that every so often. Like, yeah, this the situation got worse, so these things needed to happen, and the situation got worse, so these things needed to happen. I mean, here's the deal. I don't even know. I don't even know what the alternative would have been. I don't even know if there was, like, I don't know how long that this has been kind of in place or planned. But it just kind of says to me, what would have happened if we had gotten land out in not even June, but like August, right? If that would have been able to shake things around, I don't know. This is just wishful hypothetical thinking at this point. But at the end of the day, I actually think separating the organizations into two separate things is a good thing. So maybe it would have been able to be done without letting a bunch of people go, and they just would have restructured. But I'm assuming that, if they were going to restructure anyway to protect the businesses from each other in a sense, then it was probably also a good time to rationalize some of the positions. So Aaron says, I am bummed the most about Weirdbeard. He was the main advocate for this game. Yeah, so what's interesting is that Weirdbeard's gone. The marketing team is gone. Bulldog obviously got let go, during the last layoffs almost a year ago. Like, who's the community voice now? They're even talking about, town halls once a month rather than every week. It's going to get really quiet around the Splinterlands side of things. I don't know. What do you think? Brantog, it's sad, but not really unexpected. So KQ Furrow says, whoa, I don't think the vision of Weirdbeard is gone. Just don't need the visioneer for right now. Vision implementation is still very much on as development continues. Well, what's interesting is, we listened to that. I don't know if you listened to the same town hall as I did. Nobody asked, and it was never brought up about future game modes and all of this stuff. So I think, from my understanding, especially because the team is significantly smaller now, I feel like all that stuff is just completely off the table. It seems like it's gonna be Land 1.5, Rebellion, and then maybe when we get into like 2024 sometime, we'll see Soul Keep, right? And then any kind of iterations on Land 2.0. Now, let me be clear. Obviously, it's not. I have so many mixed feelings about this. I haven't even fully processed it yet. So it's like, there's a part of me that is optimistic in certain ways, right? Trying to look at the silver lining of the situation and feeling like, okay, for as much as I want all these things, at the end of the day, we don't even have land, right? At the end of the day, we don't even have Soul Keep. Like, I want to get to the things that will get us these games, these expansions within the Splinterlands ecosystem. But I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, in a way, I feel somewhat optimistic, cautiously optimistic, because I do think that there is an opportunity now for a refocusing on these core concepts. But then at the same time, we have also hit a very minimize, the scope of what Splinterlands could be, in my opinion, has dramatically gotten so much smaller, because a lot of the people with larger visions of what it could be are just no longer there, right? So hold on, Walking Keys is calling me right now. Let me just whatever, I'll just call him back later. I'd be curious to hear his thoughts too. I wonder what that streaming with him and Gank is going to be like tonight. But I plan on tuning in. Shout out to Keys and Gank. All right, so proposal for Weirdbeard for DAO. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love Weirdbeard, but I don't know. One, I don't know if he'd take it. 2, if he did, like, what would he be doing exactly? You know, because we're using DAO funds. So if somebody can get him on board and to know exactly what he's going to be doing if the DAO was hiring for something. I'll be honest, I'll be transparent with you guys. I mean, I've been going back and forth with Weirdbeard. I don't know if he would do it or not. And obviously today's not been the best day for him. But overall, I agree that his presence is going to be sorely missed. And if there's a way to keep him involved with the game and community, I would absolutely love that. But before we start, collecting funds for a Weirdbeard DAO proposal, I think we should probably see if this is something that he still wants to do. So no, we don't. He's cool, but he's additional expenses. Development can continue. I support DAO proposal for Weirdbeard. All right, Osku. This town hall was dope. So action packed. Not boring for sure. Well, hey, if there's anything, I mean, Matt was on. We've been asking for Matt for a long time. I didn't realize that we get another round of layoffs with it, but it is what it is. I'm curious to know that how do you guys feel about Matt taking over as like just like the core, like the CEO for Splinterlands? Like, what are your thoughts on that? I'll be honest, like, and again, I have nothing but respect for Matt, but I was a little irked by the fact that he's like, yeah, I don't like doing all the stuff that CEOs do, and that's fair, right? And I would much rather him focus on the product designer stuff. But what I don't want is like a Matt who is just getting bogged down with all the admin stuff, and then that's just like sucking away his energy and his zest and energy for creating this game. So, I mean, I respect the fact he's stepping up and trying to do it now, but I don't know. I was just like, nobody likes doing that stuff. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but I wish him well. I hope he's able to tackle it, and it's not something that ends up being like a soul-sucking job for him. How do you feel about the proposal to shift the cost of new set to the DAO? Is this a red flag? I would think if they need money, it would help to get the set out. Are they anticipating low sell? So what's interesting is somebody asked that at the end of the town hall. And let me see my notes here. So Matt was saying that they're probably going to have Rebellion out for about a year, right? But there's going to be that daily burn implemented with it. And that he thinks, because he's just like, we have a small number of packs that we're hoping we can sell. And that's attainable, right? So he was saying 2 to 3 million packs. And 2 to 3 million packs, if packs are $4, half of it going to the DAO. What was that? $4 to $6 million, right? Yeah, $2 per pack. $4 to $6 million bucks. And again, it's so ironic because I put out that video about Rebellion not being our mainstream set, right? For this, and like, again, I don't think that we're gonna feel like I don't think the bull run's gonna be full on, and people are just gonna be throwing money again at projects until we're at least late into 2024, early 2025, which again then makes Rebellion kind of like this stopgap solution where, if all they need from that is, $4 to $6 million or $5 to $7 million, whatever it ends up being, if that can get them from, through 2024, we'll say, so that they're in a much better position through 2024, that could be interesting, right? And then we get another set sometime next year. Although there's also supposed to be another mini set. I don't even know when that comes out and what that looks like. But yeah. By the way, Sim Sahas and OG champ player selling out, it seems. Yeah, good. I want them gone. And that's, sorry, this is not, My beef, and I don't know who Sim Sahas is, but my beef with Sim Sahas has nothing to do with like the selling out or whatever. Right now, they were a community leader, and I just didn't appreciate the fact that they would still come in to Mav chat and throw salt around. Um, I don't know. I don't know what access you have when you are a community leader, but it's like to come in and then ask like inflammatory questions that you could probably get the answers to because you have direct access to the team, and then throw around like, inflammatory questions. It just bothered me because I'm like, why? It didn't seem very leadership esque for. So I'm like, I don't even know why we voted them in as a leader. Don't get me wrong. I want critical voices and I respect their opinions. I just didn't respect the way that they carried themselves as a leader. So if they're out, I don't care. I mean, I don't care if anybody's out. Doesn't matter. But them specifically, sorry. I just had to cover my beef with that. Good thing Aggie is gone for the moment. I feel bad for Beard of Weirdness. Yeah, me too. Me too. So you think that devs are the only people that a game needs? People like Weirdbeard who are true gamers? And no, oh, you're not talking to me. Jobby Santos. Oh, Jobby. You probably woke up to some terrible news, huh? How you doing? 23 watching, 7 thumbs up. Oh, well, thank you, Harry. Yeah, guys, would appreciate a thumbs up if you're not doing anything with with your hands. That sounded a lot weirder than I thought I was going to say. Oh, man. All right. Another quarter of this, and the team might let me go. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. Just heard about the layoffs. So Matthew Young saying the same thing. I really hope the DAO considers hiring Weirdbeard. He is a huge asset to this. Once again, we should probably talk to Weirdbeard. I mean, I'm going to message him. Actually, I'm going to message him now. Just because we've been going back and forth. I don't know if he sent me anything else, but... It's a rough day, guys. Rough news. I feel bad for, because it wasn't just Weirdbeard. Like, there's a lot of people that I knew in the on like the creative side, and I have yet to reach out to them or hear back from them. So it's just, yeah. LCBG again. All of for Weirdbeard, right? Unless he's developing a product for right now, he is not essential. Same with letting the marketing team go. You just woke up. Town Hall is so sad. Yeah. Archmage says, I think Chatter moved fully to GLG now, so he's not really gone from ecosystem. And there was some speculation of DAO hiring Weirdbeard. You know what? Let me just not say anything. I'm sure we'll find out at some point, but I don't believe Chatter is there. If he is and moved over to the GLG side, good for him. But I guess from what I'd heard. All right, so when you tighten your belt, you stop buying butter for your potatoes. D-Tough, I hadn't seen you in a minute, man. Would love to get your thoughts. Really disappointing having Robert go. Didn't know he was part of the crew that was axed. Yeah. That was not great, obviously. I was also shocked to hear that Chatter was gone too. Yeah. So Agrid is no longer CEO. So what they did is they split the company up, Jobby. Essentially it's like GLG is its own company. Sorry, not GLG, but like Invenium is its own company. Invenium, which hosts the GLS platform and the GLG game, is its own company. And Aggie is essentially being the CEO, or moved to be CEO of that. And now Matt is stepping up to be CEO of Splinterlands. So it's not Aggie being CEO of everything. They are actually legally separating out the companies into two different entities. And Aggie's taking the CEO position of the one that's being split out, right? The Invenium side. Whereas Matt, who was like the chief product officer, he's then stepping up to be the CEO for the Splinterlands side, since there's two separate companies now. So it seems like everyone prefers Matt over Aggie. Yeah, well, Matt's always had an interesting vision to this. I will say this, guys. And again, I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone or anything, but like, I know people feel a certain way about Matt, probably feel a certain way about Aggie. The thing is, Aggie was in that role, right, as CEO, whereas Matt was in the role of product. And to me, that that works for their personality types. So it's not that I'm worried or that I think it's going to be bad for Matt to be CEO, but at the same time, I just hope that he doesn't get into a position where, similar to back in 2021 when the company was much smaller, the team was much smaller. I don't want him to get into a position where he just gets bogged down with all the CEO stuff that he even said on today's town hall he doesn't like to do. So if Splinterlands can be even semi-successful in the next 3 to 6 months with these major launches, he said that it would be great if they could bring on like a new CEO and he could step back to just focusing on product only. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so Ghosty says, I think Matt will do a better job than Aggie, as much as I like Aggie. I'll be honest, I'm curious to see now what's going to happen with GLG. Like, I haven't sold my assets there, and they actually launched, they posted a small announcement as well, I think. Which I'll have to go through, but they canceled like some GLUSD burn event, and it's just so disappointing that game is not out yet. Like, I can't believe I can't believe it's not out yet. So I hope that they get the game out. I hope they get rewards flowing. There was something in the announcement, actually. Here, let me pull it up here. I'll probably do a video on it separately under the GLG banner now. Well, it was always going to be under the GLG banner, but all right, so official announcements. So what can you anticipate from us in the near future? Today, the team working on goals has come together, and I've made some decisions to expedite the delivery of what you've been eagerly awaiting for. Previously, there was a mention of a GLUSD burn event, but we have decided to cancel it. Good. Instead, the team's primary focus is on seamlessly integrating skills into the team management experience and gameplay, alongside the introduction of ranked play with rewards. So we are opting to release these features simultaneously, allowing us to deliver them sooner than initially anticipated. Good. As outlined in the white paper, there's a total of 5 million GLX allocated for rewards per season. In appreciation of your early investment and unwavering support, we will distribute the entire 5 million GLX over the coming months leading up to the season. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. As you can see, I'm not in my usual area, or I'm not at home. I'm visiting family in Chicago. And family cat couldn't get into the kitchen where he's super hungry. You want to say hi? Want to say hi on stream? Come on. Oh yeah, I know. Boom. Say hi. Yeah, I know. Bad news today, right? Byzantine kitty. All right. So hold on, let me go. So as outlined in the white paper, there's a total of 5 million GLX for rewards. In appreciation of your early investment, unwavering support, we will distribute the entire 5 million over the coming months leading up to the new season beginning. Oh, okay. So you know what? I had read that wrong initially. I thought that they were just gonna distribute the 5 million to people who were holding packs still or something like that, because they weren't going to get the game out sooner. But it sounds like they are going to get the game out, and then over the 5 months between now and March, so is it October, November, December, January, February? So okay, so roughly 5 months. Okay, hey buddy, calm down. So over the 5 months, we'll get the full 5 million rather than it being spread out over an entire 12-month period per season. Dude, cat, chill. No, I'm not giving you any treats right now. All right, so Matt says, I know he hates doing it, but I think Matt is much more suited to run the company in Splinterlands. I think he has a more conservative vision, would have gotten us much farther. Okay, you know what? I can agree with that. So in a way, you know, Aggie's CEO, right? He's a salesman, right? At the end of the day, he's trying to get stuff out there. He's trying to build, you know, the empire, which I still sincerely hope that GLS or Invenium will be. I would love to see all these different partnerships really come together over on that platform if he's running it. You know, I want to wish success for everybody who's still involved. But I can agree with this, that, you know, Matt running things much more conservatively and then just focusing on just the smaller updates there, quality of life things, and adding, getting land out, iterating on land over time, getting Rebellion out. Like, Splinterlands is going to feel probably very much like it did in 2020. Now, I say that as somebody who wasn't around in 2020, but I'm just giving my best guess that it's going to be small, lean, and, the scope of what Splinterlands can be, like I said earlier, is shrank dramatically for me. But at the same time, its focus is much more narrow, and it's just going to be about doing what they said they were going to do, right? So, new pack sets, new game mechanics, and land. He got the boot, but it's not being called a boot. It's called restructuring. He got the boot. You know what? Sure. I'm sure people are gonna, insinuate or assume anyway. So I'm not gonna fight you on that. I don't know. I just don't know. So the question always comes back to what's coming that's going to drive growth. Agreed. Because for too long, I think we've been saying that the bull run's coming. And that's never going to be the case. Chuni, what's going on, Chuni? The transparency is clear now with Yaba. We can track the health of SPL by his ability to raise funds. If he cannot, then more drastic changes will occur. This transparency is good and was needed sooner. All right, so a lot of people feel much more comfortable with Yaba at the wheel. Aggie was actually pretty good at getting the vibe right and taking the hard hits. He lived up to his character design. Matt is like the susceptible wizard in the back. Hope he doesn't get hurt. So let's see. I love Yaba Matt in charge, but he isn't a good face based on emotion in the past. I think he's the sole reason the game would be better in the future, but need a different durable face. To deal with criticism? Well, I think one way to reduce the amount of criticism you get is to do less town halls, because that's where a lot of salt gets thrown around. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like they might reduce the amount of town halls. I mean, as it is, Matt doesn't spend much time in Mav chat anyway, right? Unlike Aggie. So maybe he doesn't need to be durable. Maybe he just needs to be in the background delivering us stuff. And here's the thing, right? Let's be optimistic, cautiously optimistic. If he does that, if he just stays in the background and it's just us, flinging our own feces around in Mav chat, then whenever he does deliver something, we get happy and we go do that, right? And then hopefully he just keeps on delivering stuff. So Yaba even mentioned a proposal to stop distributing SPS. May need to be considered at some point. How would you vote for the aftersound? Okay, so he mentioned that as like a response to a question that like SPS dilution is way too high right now, or SPS inflation is way too high. But he didn't. He like kind of backtracked it, or essentially like cut the knees off, because he's like, we want inflation to be high. We want rewards to be high, because that's what gets people to come in and play the game. And he's not wrong in that thinking. The problem is that you only need rewards to be high from a quantity perspective when the value is so low, right? So yeah, if SPS jumps down to like a penny or a penny and a half or whatever it is now, then yeah, people want to get like 100 SPS per win. But you don't need to do that if SPS is actually significantly higher. I think a lot of the main argument for reducing the amount of inflation is simply due to the fact that we have so much out there already, and people will just continue to sell it because not enough people need it in order to earn in the game. We got 1.1 billion tokens out there. And let's just see this. Was it 1.1 billion tokens divided by, let's just say 400,000. Like, you could have 2,700 people playing in Champion with the full like 10 times multiplier. All right, if that was the case, 2,700 people playing in Champion. I don't think there's 2,700 people in the game right now, period. So there's too much SPS out there already. We haven't started burning it in any kind of significant way. And I know people are hoping that land will be that. I'm hoping that land will be that, but I don't know how much land is going to burn. Also, land's not out yet, so it's just all speculation at this point. All right, so Aaron Kennedy, they cheated to get in community leadership. Asking, yeah, I heard about that. Then we're going back to the community leaders thing. I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything more to say on that individual, but it is what it is. Again, I didn't mind them being there. I just felt like once they were in the position, they didn't operate themselves in a way that I would want a leader to operate themselves. Icy Flow, what's going on? BC music sounded good in the land promo. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I just did vocals though, so but yeah, I don't know who from the music team is still there. I think some people I know got let go too. Smoke Lord, I think you mean team distribution, not overall distribution. Oh, gosh, leave the team distribution alone. Like, let's not touch that for a very long time. That should not be coming out anywhere into the ecosystem. I mean, sure, we could vote for it to just go get locked up in the DAO, but at this point, I'd rather it just kind of stick around in limbo until we can get to a position where an opportunity like a Soul Keep situation can happen, right? Also, I'm tired of like just giving out tokens because people are waiting for stuff from so long ago. I don't know how we slow things down now. I know that several people have talked about putting in some like just reducing the amount of SPS overall, or doing some kind of halving event for SPS so that it's not coming out at the same rate. Once again, that doesn't solve the problem of there being too much out there already. So I don't know. It sucks for them, but this is the best Splinterlands news I've heard this year. All right, fair enough. Icy Flow's feeling bullish. Did you get the boot after sound? I started this late and rewind to start, or are you like as in? I've just been since last year. I mean, actually, since my entire time with Splinterlands, I've always been an as needed contractor. So obviously, they were doing a lot more work last year. There's a lot more focus on lore, things like that. But since November of last year, it was still like as needed, and then they stepped back from doing a ton of lore. They started focusing more on other things, and I was just here and there for certain aspects of it. But I think I said earlier, like I didn't know that this was happening. I didn't get called into any meeting or told, so I actually don't even know. I don't even know what my status is. Let's see. I still like my email hasn't been shut off, but I don't get. I barely get any emails. Yeah, so I don't know. Not much is going to change for me. Like a lot of the stuff that was worked on, or that I worked on with them is like from months ago. So let's see. Yeah, I think I did like, because they have like a promo song that I actually I don't even know if they're going to use anymore. But like I did some work for a Rebellion song, but that was back in like March, I think. Like this land one was from over the summer, but that was literally just like a one-liner thing for me. So I don't know. And I don't mean to be sorry. I'm not trying to be smart about it or whatever. I'm obviously grateful for any opportunity, and I'm still happy to work with them if they want to work with me. It's just I honestly just don't know. So I need to reach out and figure out where things stand. But I'm sure everybody's just trying to let the dust settle. Chatter's gone, I believe, announced on Town Hall. Yeah, I believe that's the case too. It's from what I've heard. Agreed, I see. The two weakest links are gone, Aggie and Chatter. Interesting. Why would you say that they are the weakest links? And Aggie's just on the other side now. I totally agree, says Osco. Vilson, what's going on? Gone from Splinterlands. Okay. Yo, missed the notification. Crazy day so far. Nice job on the music for the new line clip. Oh, thank you. That wasn't me. Sorry, that was my voice, but the music aspect of it wasn't me. So I believe that was Isaria. So big shout out to her. And if it wasn't Isaria, and if it was one of the other contractors, then I'm sorry. I just was given a prompt to write a one-liner. Just finished the town hall. I kind of expected the layoffs. You know what's funny is, and I'm not going to name any names here, but I've had a lot of conversations, private conversations with people in the community, and they've been expecting it for a while. But many of them were expecting it after land was done, right? It's just like get land out, and then, you know, my assumption was we'd see land come out, and then, you know, if things didn't go well and the game economy didn't shoot SPS up to like 50 cents, which was always going to be a long shot anyway, then that was always going to be an issue. But Virus, good to see you here. Sorry, didn't say that earlier. All right, so, oh man, that was funny. Yeah, guys, would appreciate that thumbs up. You're not doing... You know, I was like, I don't know, whatever. It's just that was a classic moment. So can't, hands occupied. All right, so Chatter has always been the weakest link for me. I love him, but I don't think he is an effective marketing leader. As for Aggroed, he's a good tank and FOMO manager. Got mixed feelings about that. You know, okay, so, oh gosh, I hate to I don't have anything against Chatter. I mean, seems like a super nice guy when I met him at Splinterfest. And, you know, I actually agree with Matt. Like, I think the marketing team always had their hands tied behind their backs because there wasn't a budget for it, nor was there anything to really market, right? Like, no new players are going to get excited about the fact that we have an airdrop coming out or whatever the case is. Just like, you need to get the land expansion out. You need to get Soul Keep out. That's where the marketing could really come into play. But I'll just say this in regards to Chatter. There was a recent Twitter Spaces that I attended that he was like representing Splinterlands on, and I forgot which one it is, but it wasn't a replay. It was something recent, and I don't know. Chatter was talking about stuff that was like old. Like, he was talking about collection power, and he was talking about, I don't know, a bunch of other things. And I had to like double check, and I'm like, I don't know if like he was just going off some talking points or what, but yeah, I don't know. Again, nothing against him personally. I hope he's able to find a place where he can actually put his talents to good use. Because let's be honest, Splinterlands just wasn't the spot. So I was talking about how much Splinterlands spends on payroll last night and how we can become more sustainable. It's amazing this happened today. Well, you called it, I guess. All right, the one thing I'm concerned about with Matt is financing. Oh man, he seems too willing to cave on financing. I think Aggie would have been able to raise funds at a better rate. Well, here's the thing, KQ Forever. They've been talking about raising financing since November of last year, and Aggie is the spearhead for that, right? I mean, Aggie was the one saying that these are the conversations that he's been having. So Matt was very clear that hasn't happened yet, and I don't think that he was trying to like insinuate anything. It's just it hasn't happened yet. So if Aggie was the one responsible and it hasn't happened, well, I guess you can kind of go with the whole. I don't know. I don't. Let me not say anything. I still have a lot of respect for everybody involved, so I'm not trying to paint a picture in any specific way. Just I'm probably being a little too raw with my thoughts here, but it's like if Matt was saying that, not that he's taking a shot, not that I'm taking a shot at Aggie, but obviously it didn't happen. So I'm curious to see what things look like if Matt is much more involved in trying to get financing. At the same time, I wonder, because Aggie in many ways has been really effective in like getting a lot of partnerships, I wonder if him not having we'll just use quotes, the baggage of Splinterlands will allow him to succeed over on the Invenium side. Because he's like, you know, Aggie's always been like the big vision guy, right? Matt, I wouldn't say that Matt's like big vision. Matt is like very specific Splinterlands vision. Aggie's like big vision. Let's build an empire. Let's build Steam 3.0, right? So if that's the case, Invenium, Arcade Colony, like those platforms are things that suit him way better. And I wonder if it'll be easier for him to go and pitch that out to people. I don't even know if he's raising funds or not, but I'm just saying in general, like pitch that out, get, you know, secure different partnerships, and such. So yeah. All right, so Matt shouldn't be going on air saying things like we need to or willing to drop the valuation price. Yeah, I agree with that. So it sounds like there was a debate on the definition of runway. Yaba's definition of runway is how you run a business, in my opinion. Even though he does not like the business end, we can track to that definition. So Chuny, I'll agree with you on that. What I do like about where we're at right now, because there's still, I'm obviously bullish and optimistic about Bitcoin, crypto as a whole over the next 18 months or so. Maybe not 18 months, maybe 2 years. But I think you got to run your company super conservatively. And I like the fact that Matt is way more conservative. Aggie, in his own words, was very much, I'm a perma bull. I think we're in a bull run now. I'm not trying to say that he ran the company in a bad direction, right? I don't know the numbers. None of us do. Let's not sit here and try to place blame or pretend like we know. I will say this though, at the end of the day, in such a volatile industry, that one of the benefits now of having Matt being the one who's making those decisions, if he runs the business like they have no more money left, then I could appreciate somebody taking a much more conservative approach. At the same time, like I said earlier, I agree with Aggie that I think we are probably going to hit a bull run, and it's just a matter of being patient enough for it. But that's outside of Splinterlands. All right, so what do you mean by that? Bull run coming will never be the case. I must have misspoken. I don't even remember saying that. Oh, bull run never being the case. So for example, Bitcoin has never existed in a macro bear. So throughout the entire, hey baby, come on, sit down. I know I'm not going to give you any food or treats. You're already too fat. All right. So what did you mean by the bull run? So Bitcoin has never existed in a macro bear, right? From its inception in 2009, we had, oh gosh, I keep getting called now. Not by Splinterlands stuff, but since its inception, 2009, we were on a macro bull from essentially 2009 all the way to 2021. 2021, things changed. No more low or 0% interest rates. We got into a position where money gets much more expensive to have. People aren't investing as much. They're incentivizing you to save by raising interest rates. So if the economy and the Fed doesn't necessarily pivot by the time we get to and through the next Bitcoin halving and potential bull run, like we could see a situation where the bull run happens, but not in the same way, right? There's no denying the fact that people will still feel, not people, but like the market will still feel the Bitcoin or the shock of the Bitcoin halving, right? Supply gets cut in half, so therefore miner selling pressure gets cut in half as well. But at the same time, it could be something where we just get to a point that maybe Bitcoin doesn't hit a new all-time high this cycle, as I guess what I'm trying to get at. Oh damn, I've been on for an hour already. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can hang out for a little bit longer. Yes, I can. All right, cool. I'm just glad I had the opportunity to hang out with you guys after a town hall like this, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions myself that I have included, so I'm going to be able to talk through all of it. All right, so let's get back to comments here. All right, so Aaron, hopefully that answered your question, where it's just like we may not get like crazy macro bull run or crazy even like Bitcoin bull run. Like maybe Bitcoin over the next couple of years tops out at like 60K, right? So we don't hit a new all-time high. There's no 70K. That could absolutely happen if there's no pivot in the macro market. But could that still mean some interesting things for crypto? Like to see Bitcoin essentially do a 3x, over 3x from its all-time low, or not all-time low, but cycle low back up to that high? Yeah, I could, but we just don't know. All right, so FYI, people, in light of news, please vote down all 3 proposals. That's not a bad idea. I think having some kind of reset would be important. Yes, we need DAO funds staying, not pilfered. It's obvious SPL might need them. Yeah, I would also vote down the proposals and preserve the funds also. So Chuny, are they going to post more tournaments when we were gone? That alpha tourney was income for a certain few, and I hope that one goes away for sure. Oh gosh, I hope so. I would actually love, man, you know what? I think one way we could slow down inflation is I would say get rid of the tournaments for now. I really genuinely think that they should get rid of the tournaments. It would suck, I know, for all those OGs, but at the same time, like, it's what, I think it's 2.5 million SPS per month. That's essentially going to, like, a majority of that is going to like 20 people. Tournaments are the biggest fail for me. Like, I've been pretty vocal about it here, and it's not anybody's fault necessarily. It's just, I don't know. There's just so much more that could be done with tournaments, which again makes me sad because Weirdbeard was such a proponent for us in that way. You know, the other thing that's interesting too, and somebody had asked it, was like, what happens now with Battle Helper? Like, we voted that proposal in, but if you remember, Matt wasn't in favor of it. He voted against it. So, you know, we may get back to a more decentralized maxi type of game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Matt's going to do anything shady. Like he said, that's what the team, you know, that's what the DAO voted for. So that's what he's going, you know, they're going to respect the will of the DAO. But as we were said, like, it's an arms race, right? So like, you do one thing and then they escalate, you escalate, they escalate. So we might not have as much escalation. And that might not even be like a Matt is against or for it thing. It's just they don't have the resources. So they're just not going to focus. They're just not going to focus on it because it's not a higher priority than what's already there. New Age, what's going on, New Age? I think I heard your land song in Town Hall. Yep. Oh, that was my vocal, but yes. Hope you liked it. Did you drop a new song in Town Hall? No, they showed like a land promo that I worked on a little while ago. Just that literally one line. So SPS needs to fall more. Right now, it's about 15K to purchase 1.2 million SPS to reach max staking. I need SPS to get to 5 cents or lower. It is lower than 5 cents. It's 1.5 cents. Oh, 0.05 cents or lower. Yeah, you might be the only one that wants that. So Virus, I was hoping the tournament change will come with Brawl Freight changes coming out October 3rd. I wonder how long it will take them to make these changes now. Yeah, oh, that's a good point. Oh man. You know what? This is making me a little sad or frustrated because I wonder how many of these I wonder how many of things that like a majority of the community doesn't like will end up just staying status quo because the team is no longer focused on it, or it's not a priority, or they don't have the resources. I would love to see Brawl Freight changes too. What is the reason the Brawl Pass was never implemented yet? I don't know what Brawl Pass. What do you mean by Brawl Pass? So you think that would bring in some revenue sooner than land? Oh, you mean Battle Pass? Because it's just not. I mean, Battle Pass is something that needs a lot of work, and it needs a lot of people to work on it. And now I think we're just in a position that's not. I don't want to say ever, but that's not going to happen in anytime soon. So still bullish myself. Also, people trash talking Aggie, not cool, to be honest. I agree. Excuse me. I think Aggie did a lot. I think Aggie did a hell of a lot for the game. I mean, you may not agree. I don't even agree with all the things that he did and said, but I also don't think Splinterlands would be at the level that it is without him. So getting land out first and then let people go would really set the wrong tone for the community. However, this is probably the better way to go. That's fair. Oh man, how far behind am I on chat? I'm like 13 minutes behind. Okay, let me try to really catch up here because you guys are fast. I really don't feel like it today, but Wibble, I appreciate your commitment. All right, so agree, Wilson. Bullish here and respect for Aggie, even if you flame salt with his hype. All right, so land looks too cumbersome. Click and text-based, no graphics. Agreed. So if you compare Illuvium land versus Splinterlands, not even close. Even Illuvium beta looked 10 times better. Yeah. So there's no way Splinterlands could not get funding. The company probably doesn't want to give up shares or enough shares. Well, going back to the other point then maybe it's good that Matt is willing to give up a little bit more than Aggie was, because, from my understanding, and this is actually even public too, right? Like Aggie was saying that he was having conversations. So I don't know where those conversations went. I'm sorry. We know where those conversations went, but we don't know why they didn't go any further. IC Flow says, did Hardpoint get the axe? From some sources that I've heard, yes, he did as well. Another weak link. Man, when Hardpoint first came on those town halls last year, he was great. I wish him well too. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not going to sit here and just start flaming people. I mean, you guys are welcome to in the comments. I'm just going to respectfully disagree. That's a good point. The splitting of the companies would allow for each to look more attractive to investors, given neither would look like a distraction to the other. Yeah. Hardpoint as a dev wouldn't call that a weak link. All right. So what is Invenium again? I've been out of the loop. Invenium is where the GLS platform lives, and then the GLG game, Genesis League Goals, the soccer game, is on the GLG platform. I think Invenium may also include Arcade Colony. They kind of teased that a couple of weeks ago, but that might be in the can now. I don't know, because that was something that like Chatter was working on, and Aggie and him talked about it slightly, maybe like a month or two ago on a town hall. But it was supposed to be like another platform similar to Invenium, similar to like GLS, but for non-sports games. So again, by the way, how have you been, man? Haven't been able to get on a live for a while. Yeah, man, I've been all right, dude. I've just been trying to stay busy, traveling right now, enjoying some time with family, and then actually it's that's just what it is. All right, it's another Web3 game. Okay. So just get rid of alpha tournaments. It's like 500 to 1,000 of SPS and only a few people can participate. Yeah, I know. All right, since the DAO finances the tourneys, we could put a proposal up to stop tournaments for now. I would love that. I just think that you're going to run in. I mean, sorry, let me not discourage you. I would love that. I think you're going to run into too many OGs. What's interesting is like, I wonder where all these whales are aligned. And I'm not trying to get like tinfoil hat or conspiracy theory here, but I'm wondering if the whales feel better with Matt at the ship or helm, at the steering wheel, versus Aggie. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm not even talking about anybody specifically, but I'd be curious to hear how that ended up playing out. Harry, 50 people watching, 28 thumbs up. Can we get that higher? If you guys aren't, thank you, Harry. I appreciate that. I'll give it to you guys again. If you're not doing anything with your hands, maybe consider hitting the thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. All right, so Legendary Canary, good to see you. Legendary Canary, how are you doing? What are your thoughts on what's going on right now? I'm sure you've had a chance to read the announcement at the very least. Maybe you've heard, or maybe you heard some of the town hall. Skyer, what's going on? Good to see you here. So Virus says off topic, but I'm excited to see you get into some of the AI stuff. Make sure to post if you find something cool. Yeah. Oh, did you guys see what's going on with OpenAI? I mean, they announced like now it can see and hear, so you can do voice stuff. You can like throw pictures in there, like take a picture of your bike and ask like how to fix like XYZ or what size of like wrench you need. I don't know. So I've been talking to Walking Keys quite a bit. We're both kind of, actually Darkest Night too. We're all like super geeked out on AI and want to do something with it. So sorry, it's off topic. But yeah, so we've been just like brainstorming ideas of like, I don't know, different like businesses or projects that we can start. So I will definitely keep you updated with that. I feel like there's just so much opportunity to stay ahead of the curve here. It's going to revolutionize literally so many industries and so many like jobs within those industries that it would, yeah, I mean, just being able to know how to utilize the technology, administer it in certain ways is better than, getting blindsided by it. Skyer, yeah, it was a tough town hall. If they let go of Cryptomancer, we really there. Ooh, I didn't hear anything about Cryptomancer, but I would be shocked if they let go of Cryptomancer. Elistios, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, so Biz is making 20k SPS per week from what I saw. So I doubt they will vote off the. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's just there's a lot of people with too much to lose to end those tournaments. Jarvie, I'm glad to hear that you are positive about today, because you are one of the OGs that I was just talking about. So I'm glad to hear that you're feeling positive about it. Again, I don't mean for this to be insensitive. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I feel very, very bad about, and obviously for the people too. And there's even some things I don't necessarily agree with how Matt might be approaching it. But the game isn't dead, and I don't think it's dying. Although, I think they need to be very careful about how they approach things in the future, because not only is it going to be more difficult with less resources, but yeah, I mean, the competition is fierce. It's really fierce. So I'll tell you guys this, and I mean, he'll probably tell you himself, and I don't want to speak for him, but Darkest Night obviously wasn't happy with a lot of things. I'm curious to see how he feels about this overall. But something that he and I have actually been doing is we're testing out a bunch of other games. We're both trying out a bunch of different things, mainly because like I think that this is not anti-Splinterlands. It's literally like, I'm so excited. Like, as a Web3 investor, as a gamer, I'm so excited for all these games that are going to be coming out over the next 18 months or 2 years with this bull run, or I shouldn't say bull run, but like with this Bitcoin halving. So I don't know. I'm like super excited. We're testing out a bunch of things. He just went all in on Parallel, and he was testing stuff out. I was on the phone with him for like an hour this morning, talking about like he bought a bunch of packs with Parallel. I'm trying to finish up the starter missions, and then I'll probably end up doing the same. But I'll probably end up doing more Parallel content here. I've tested out like My Pet Hooligan. Illuvium is even something like, once that's out and like open public beta, like I want to try all these different things. So taking that back, right, to our topic right now, there's going to be a lot of competition. And, Splinterlands was never going to be a game that was made for the masses. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to get lost in the shuffle. One of my biggest things that I say all the time, and not from a gaming perspective, but just from a crypto perspective overall, there were so many tokens that I saw pop off during the 2017 bull run that were quiet, did not do anything in 2021. Just like, they didn't hit new all-time highs. There was no hype. It was all new stuff, right? Polygon, Solana, BNB actually kind of redefine itself, but you get my point. Avalanche, like all these were new L1s that came around. I don't see any reason why it would be different with games, right? Especially because there's a history now of multiple layoffs, and it's a double-edged sword. It's like, okay, did they survive the bear market? Yes, awesome, but everybody in Discord and on Twitter is like complaining about SPS inflation. There's too much out there. It's going to be so hard for them to hit their blah, blah. Like all this baggage is going to be something that I think is very difficult to overcome. Now, one thing that I agree with Matt on, 100%, the biggest marketing tool you can have for this game is a gigantic green candle. So, if that's where he's trying to go with this, as somebody who holds a decent amount of SPS, I 100% want to see that, right? And I know that that's going to pull in a lot more investor players. The harsh truth is that like Splinterlands is it's not a game for gamers, right? As much as we were trying to shift in that direction with Weirdbeard, it's just not a game for gamers. It's a game for investor players, right? We'll come up with a new term. People who are willing to spend a good amount of money on a game with the hopes of either maintaining their value and having, small earnings, or it going up in value. Chaos is just a lost set, right? Like even now, I'm still actually very bullish on Rebellion. And even with the way that Matt's talking about it, when you go through and look at I think he said that they'll probably still do the same amount of packs, right? Like 15 million packs, but they're just going to implement the daily burn and have it be on a schedule over the course of a year. So we know, like, when the airdrops are coming, we know when all this stuff is happening. Even for him, he's like, out of the 15 million packs, I think we can sell like 2 to 3 million, right? And that is, gosh, what, 25% of Chaos Legion, right? So it's significantly smaller. What we've seen with Rift Watchers so far is the cards maintaining their value well. But yeah, I think we can see the same thing with Rebellion. Again, so this is not to say, like, oh, go in and buy a bunch of cards and blah, blah, blah. No, like, again, I don't even know what the value of my card collection is, because I never check it, because I don't care. Like, I buy cards as a gamer, and I don't plan on selling those cards, right? Like, here's the thing. If it ever got to like life-changing money, I absolutely would. But it's not like I'm looking at the value of my card collection every day and being like, oh, it went up. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to sell any cards, because I still want to, do my guild brawls and play in some tournaments and just be part of the game. So it doesn't matter if it's up 10%, 15%, or if it's down even 50. So here's where it gets important. It does matter if it starts to go down significantly. I think that's where people feel the pain. And I will agree that I feel the pain of like having bought so many cards and packs early on, and the value of those just tanked. What I'm trying to say with Rebellion is I don't think we're going to run into that same problem. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right? And if I start to see that same kind of behavior, that's like, ooh, like, I'll let you guys know. I mean, but so far, I think Rift Watchers has been probably the best proxy that we can get. I mean, this stuff is burning every single day. We've already burned, 21%, or 24, almost 24% of it, and nobody cares, right? Like, at the same time, it's great, because look at the pack value and look at the pack price, the estimated value. The cards are holding their value. So what could be interesting, and this is not to say like, go ape into the Rebellion presale, but it is like, hopefully, when Rebellion comes around, even at the beginning, yes, I think that there will be a little bit of a hype cycle and all that, but I have a little bit more confidence that if I go in and buy a card, it's not going to go down by like 75% at some point, right? And let's actually go to some of these cards here. So, for example, and again, it's not going to be perfect, and I this is like not financial advice, but game advice. Like, we saw, core lurkers and aggro longtails selling for anywhere between like $20 to $30, right, when they first came out. Sometimes even higher than that. Obviously, they've come down now, but I would say this, right? If you bought it for like $30 on day one, are you upset that they're 18? Maybe. But then again, at the same time, you were buying it because you wanted to be an early adopter. You wanted to have it on day one. The thing is, over the past, we'll just say since the beginning of the year, right? Because Rift Watchers came out literally like a year ago at this point, last September. So since that time, Core Lurker, Aggro Longtail, a lot of these cards haven't come down very much, if at all, right? Sure, you've had other cards like Runemancer Kai. I think I remember this being like one of the top cards too. But once everybody had their fill, now, like, we just keep selling lower and lower. Actually, let's see what the liquidity for this is. Okay, so you have, oh man, per BCX, that's actually quite cheap. But, it's just like there's not much liquidity out there. Either way, point being that if you buy in at the beginning, you're always going to see a drop off, right? Because hype, FOMO, like that's just a real thing. Now, at the end of the day, though, if you're willing to wait, which is what I think might end up happening for Rebellion. I mean, I'll tell you myself right now, like, unless the promo is amazing, I'm probably going to hold off on buying any packs. I'm just going to target specific cards that end up being crucial for the meta. Because take a look at this. Ilthane is head and shoulders above the rest, right? Like, because it's still such a big part of the meta. Yeah, so, there'll always be a premium when you first get in. And I don't know what that ends up looking like, but I don't know. I have much more confidence in Rebellion holding its value overall, because we're seeing that with Rift Watchers. I mean, even here, like the cheapest comment, I guess you got a couple comments that are going for like 4 cents, but still, you get my point. All right, let's get back to the chat. All right, Alicios, I guess that is why Biz asked about tourneys in town hall. Yeah, I remember him asking that, but that's a good point. Man, he's gonna lose his 20,000 SPS per month. Let's see. So this man was getting paid on top of a Splinterlands salary. What is it? 015. Man, he's making $300 a week, and he probably wasn't even at the top. I'm sure there's other people who were playing at the higher levels. All right, so during the first round of layoffs, I felt like Chatter dodged the bullet, and they should have given his job to Bulldog. I'm sure you're not the only one that feels that way, Radagaster. Vilson, I run a small biz powered by some AI tools. Oh, Vilson, I should get some tips from you. I definitely want to get into more AI stuff. And like I said, with Keys, we've been trying to chat more about potential like business ideas and just doing. Actually, again, with Darkest Night too. So maybe if you guys are, maybe we'll have to do some consulting with you, Vilson. Now you can hire the best, but if you don't have give the tools to do stuff, nothing will happen. I've spoken to Chad about digital marketing. He knows his stuff. So see, I agree with this state of survival. I don't think that Chatter, like people always throw shade at Chatter. And again, I'm not saying that he's perfect, but he knows his stuff about when it comes to digital marketing. And I think that's why, he was on the team and why they liked him. But the problem is if you just don't have anything to actually market and you don't have a budget to effectively market it, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there on your thumbs. Legendary Canary is fine with it all. All right, so we got lots of folks, lots of OGs who are still feeling pretty good about the game. As I said in my reply to your previous video today, there's some good and bad about this, but right now, bigger picture at first glance. Oh, hold on. Let's go to your next comment. Is creating FUD on top of a mountain of salts while dumping that info while reducing communication? That's hard. It's a hard hit on a day where they still don't have a date for land or tower defense. They will need good news at one point to reverse all this negativity, and we'll see more and more people leaving, sadly. Yeah, I don't doubt it. The best marketing is build a good game, deliver in time, and have a proper economy. People will come without much effort, and even better, if you maintain that, they might even stay. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think a lot of people will look at the game as it is and say that it's just fine, right? And I'm not, I'm not even saying that that's wrong or right. That's just an opinion. So at the end of the day, the focus here is much more on building a strong game economy, for better or for worse. So sometimes companies do better and more with less people, to be honest, says Jarvie. Yeah, what's funny is that we said the same thing 10 months ago. I'm not saying you're wrong. And in fact, like, I still think that Q1 of this year was awesome. I mean, they were just dropping new things and, adding stuff to the game, like literally every week or every other week. That was a good time. I really was hoping that after Land was out, we'd get back to that. But now it almost feels like we're going to get less communication, less updates. And Jarvie, Legendary Canary, like all you guys might have been around in 2020, right? I'd be curious to know if my kind of prediction jives, because I wasn't around in 2020, but I can imagine that before they had like a more organized corporate structure with release dates and maintenance windows and all this, it was probably just like ad hoc releases, and you'd just be playing the game and all of a sudden you get an announcement and boom, you're like, oh, okay, cool. There's like a new thing added in. I can imagine it goes back to something like that, which actually is more in line with like traditional games where it's like, you don't hear about something for a long time and then all of a sudden, boom, they announce that it's coming out. Right? We can do it. Says blockchain game. You're doing a good job, After Sound, for keep SPL up. You're the best. Oh, well, I appreciate you. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm here as a gamer with you guys. So, we're for better or for worse, we're all in this together. So, just to be very clear, no, I'm not selling all my stuff. I'm not quitting the game. I don't know what my status is as a contractor for the team, but I haven't been told that I'm gone. So, and I am still cautiously optimistic for where things can go in the future. Again, I don't think the scope of what I was hoping Splinterlands could be has dramatically been scaled down. But at the end of the day, if they can deliver land, and if they can give us, if Rebellion can be something that's awesome. And let me say this, because Matt keeps teasing it both in the post and then on today. I will say this, and whether it gets me in trouble or not, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. I got to see some of the behind the scenes for the new game mechanics planned for Rebellion. They are cool. I like them a lot. It actually, as a gamer, makes me very excited for what Rebellion could mean to the Splinterlands game. Now, I don't know if I saw the final versions, and I'm not going to divulge any details here. I'm just going to say that I was able to see some of that stuff when it was teased out at a recent team meeting. I'm hyped for Rebellion. I genuinely, truly am. Despite all the craziness that's going on today, I am truly hyped for Rebellion because it's going to usher in a brand new era. It's going to be the post-Untamed era first and foremost. So people who are coming in now can, they can go level up their Chaos decks for relatively cheap. And then Rebellion is going to be something where, only the people that buy it, similar to Rift Watchers, only the people that buy it are going to have it. So it's going to incentivize you to go and support the game in that way. And not just the game, but like the team and the DAO. But yeah, if they can stick the landing on some of the game mechanics they were talking about, it's going to be fun times, right? So it solves a lot of problems. Gosh, okay, so here I'm not going to get into details, but like in my opinion, it helps to solve a lot of problems. And I could be wrong on this. This is just my opinion. I think it solves a lot of problems potentially for battle helpers and bots. As Matt said, I'm quoting him now in today, like it gives the player a lot more agency in terms of like what they're able to do in the game. So yes, I am very, very excited for Rebellion. And I here's the thing. I'm excited for Rebellion, but like everybody else, it's just like there's no way that they can launch that before land is out. Like you're just kind of like people are just not gonna like the way that feels. All right, so yeah. All right, so Mondroid, what's going on? So Elysius, we should get the DAO vote to hire Jarvie and his team to help build everything that is still pending in the pipeline. Dude, shout out to Jarvie, because Jarvie, you and I think is it Asgarth? I mean, you guys build so fast and so clean. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. Jarvie, I have a question for you. Why wouldn't you just, instead of building all these tools, why wouldn't you just build a game that could exist in the Splinterlands ecosystem or use Splinterlands assets, a la something like, what's that called? A la something like Splinterforge. I think you have enough clout, you have enough of a following, enough support, and enough of a sub community within Splinterlands that you could do that. And if you need a game designer, I would be happy to jump on and help design a game with you, because that's what I really want to do. But no, man, Jarvie, I don't know if you're still here, but I would love to see that from you. All right, the pivot from short-term profits to long-term sustainability, the DAO getting 50-50 cut of pack sales is the key takeaway. So happy, good. So Charles says, I will always be in Splinterlands until or if the wheels fall off. All right, ride or die. Let's go. So Peak Monster has been delivering fast and steady. And when it comes to new features in there, oh, there goes my timer again. Hold on, let me double check and see if I still got some time with you guys. Hold on 1 second. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I do have some time. If people still want to hang out for a little bit, I guess we can start to wrap up soon. But let's see here. KQ, nice to hear for new Rebellion game mechanics. Yeah, guys. Again, from what I saw, they look really cool. So take that for what it is. hopefully it ends up being exactly what I saw or even better. Weirdbeard shows some of the Battle 2.0 and new player experience a few months ago, and I'm hyped about it as well. And the potential the game can reach once they finally deliver. Yeah, I don't know what the status of Battles 2.0 is though. Yes, I've been around since 2018. Okay, I agree. Icy Flow had nothing against Aggie, but this is all music to my ears that Matt is taking over and doing things his way. Very happy with the news. Legendary says, happier today than I was yesterday. Oh, that's good, man. I'm guessing Rebellion mechanics are the introduction of Splinters. No comment. So my only question is if the Rebellion mechanics are applicable to all cards or just the Rebellion ones. Again, no comment. Sorry guys, I don't know what my status is, so I'm not trying to get in trouble here. But I'm just trying to give you guys some hype. I'm trying to give you guys a little optimism on a day when it's in somewhat short supply. All right, so bull market. Why is everything so pricey? I don't want to buy. Whales on everything. Then bear market. I don't want to buy. It's too cheap. Blah blah. It's hilarious. You know what's funny though, Charles? And this is what I'm curious to see. How many new people are coming into the game? Because the reason people are complaining about it's too cheap is not necessarily because it's too cheap now. It's the fact that they bought 18 months ago when it was super expensive. So, yeah. All right, let's head back here. I actually was able to catch up with the chat. I'm waiting to see if we go below the 1.5, but so far we're holding somewhat steady. Yes, I don't know what comes next, guys. Just speaking very honestly with you, I know we're gonna have the airdrop relatively soon, so that should be cool. And what about in about 2 weeks or so? 200,000 packs. How much SPS? Sorry, how much DEC is in the down now? But I will say this, and I'm putting this out as like not a warning, but just a little bit of an announcement. Like as I was talking about earlier, like Darkest Night and I have been like messing around with a bunch of games, and it actually had nothing. It's funny because obviously the timing of this is very much going to seem reactionary to the announcement today, but I was planning to get into more content for like other games and other things. It's just my own like personal interest, right? Like I really wanted to dive deeper into the parallel ecosystem. I loved what I saw from My Pet Hooligan, and I saw even like I think Bulldog was streaming it the other day. So again, there's some cool things happening around Web3. Now, what that means in the context of today is that it kind of just complements what I was planning to do anyway, right? I was planning to get into like other things, explore more. Like I don't like. Gosh, let's put it this way. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but Darkest Night still wants to come on the channel, but I don't think he wants to talk about Splinterlands, right? So, and I want to have him on here so that we can chat, we can play games and stuff like that. So my whole thing with this is like, I want to explore and do more. And if Splinterlands is going to be taking a step back from, announcements and things like that, it's not that I want to do less content or not focus on it. It's just, well, it might make sense now, even more so, right? So please don't think that this was just like a reactionary thing to today. It's actually something that we've been talking about all weekend. So like I said, Darkest Night bought a bunch of cards for Parallel. We both made a decision. I downloaded Mir 4, which is another game that he's super into. I tried out My Pet Hooligan before heading on to Chicago this week. So all this stuff was like in the mix already. So if you see it, don't think that it's because like I don't care about Splinterlands. I still very much do, and I'm still very optimistic about what even just these next 3 months could bring with Land and Rebellion. Because when I talk about like what changed in terms of Splinterlands for me, I said it's the scope of it. The scope of how big Splinterlands could be in the future absolutely changed. But that scope is really everything beyond what we were expecting over the next 3 months, right? Like I was hoping for new game modes, draft run, arena, battle pass, all these things in 2024. That doesn't necessarily change anything that, is part of my expectations for the rest of 2023. I can also see my internet's not being super cooperative right now since I'm not plugged in, but we'll go ahead and wrap up soon. All right, so the grass is never green on the other side. It's usually yellow grass. My favorite saying is the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. All right, so that's cool. You do you, but go advertise SL to those new communities when you do. Well, so part of the thing is that, like, just being very transparent with you guys. Like this channel really was like a happy accident. I did not expect, like, we got 55 people or 50 something people on the live stream today. Like I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like this is awesome. To me, this is awesome. I was just looking for other people that played the game, and I just kind of wanted to document my experience with it. And that even started before when I was just like playing. I think if you go way far back enough, you'd probably see that there was like a bunch of Fortnite content on here too. And I was just posting my streams from Twitch. But I've gotten so much from this channel. Sorry to get a little sappy with you guys, but like I've gotten so much from this channel because I've actually been able to build real world relationships, friendships with people. And then see, look, there you go. He's calling me again. I'll have to call him back. But like on top of that, like I just the level of conversation, the dialogue that happens here is like one of my favorite things that I get to do every week. There's so many smart people in the community. And so part of it is like, all right, we had some fun testing out like the conspiracy theory streams, which again is just like, I don't even know. But then we had like a bunch of people joining. They want more conspiracy theory stuff. And it's like, all right, there's a cool community here, which means that I actually want to try and take a much deeper focus with this channel, take it actually a little bit more seriously than what I've been doing, which is just, I had this thought about Splinterlands. Let me record a video. I want to go hang out with the community. Let me go live. So I don't know what that looks like necessarily in the future, but I know that obviously, the channel's grown to something that I never would have expected. And I want to do hopefully a lot more with it. So that probably includes more games. That probably includes more, hopefully, competitive things that we can do. I mean, going back to Splinterlands, I had so many high hopes for like tournaments and stuff like that, which I don't know where that stands, but keep in mind, I want to continue doing tournaments here just because it's fun and just because it's good community bonding and building. But overall, yeah, there's a good group here. So let me just say, despite everything, I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you coming to hang out. I'm still bullish on both Splinterlands and crypto NFT gaming overall. And while it's not financial advice, I do think generally that there is a tremendous amount of opportunity to just out there in general, right? And I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity with Splinterlands. Do they need to like get their shit together? Yeah, absolutely, right? But that's at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are going to look at what happened today and think that it was for the best and be excited about the future. And I don't think that viewpoint is wrong. All right. So I play a few of the games. I'm always on the lookout for any new game that can bring what SL can't while having a better economy. Hey, are you still playing Pancake Protectors? That's one that I never got back to. Clock is ticking though. New games will gain more and more attention, and we only need one better game than all to make everyone switch to Splinterlands. So Splinterlands is better. Stop messing around. Yeah, I agree. Well, Land is just not gonna. I've said this from the beginning. Land is not gonna bring in new players directly. Nobody's gonna get excited about like gamified DeFi in that way. But I'm still hopeful that Land can destroy the oversupply of DEC that we have and hopefully get us to start burning some SPS. And then on top of that, if Rebellion can deliver, if these new game mechanics end up being like super awesome and you just got to have them and you just got to have these cards because they're so cool, then yeah, I mean, I hope that Rebellion sells well. And I know I said earlier I wasn't planning on buying packs. I probably will buy some just because it's me. All right. But for the most part, I'm just trying to be like, at the end of the day, like packs are gambling. I don't really like gambling. I like taking much more concentrated, strategies and developing my deck. So that's probably what I'll end up doing for the most part. But who doesn't like opening packs? I mean, it's always fun. All All right, did you see CL pack prices dipped under $1 during the live stream? No, I did not. Is that reflected here? Pack prices are still $1.29, but let's go over. And you probably got a lot of people who are rightfully scared off. I don't want to act like today's a good thing, guys. So please don't get me wrong. Today is a very bad thing. Today is a very bad situation. Now, I think a lot of people will probably agree that the actions taken to combat a very bad situation were good actions taken, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a bad situation. Looks like that got eaten up relatively quickly. But yeah, we're down to like $1.03 on the bid. Ooh, Moriarty getting out. Claiborne getting out. Damn, Claiborne sold a lot. Yeah, I believe that was another casualty. Yikes. Actually, it'll be interesting to see what else is selling right now. Licenses are probably another one. Oh, 465. Woo. Yasik sold. What else? Can we see SPS? See who's selling SPS? It's probably not going to be. I'm sure if you were selling SPS, you'd probably use the swap feature, unless you're a bot. Alpha packs? People selling alpha packs too? Oh no, these went up. I guess that's it. Nightmare pack. Oh, whoa! When did nightmare packs get above $2 again? Huh. That's surprising. Oh, sorry. The ask is. Oh, dude, nightmare packs are drying up. Look at that. Look at the spread on this. The bid is 178. Ask is 211. I suppose that's a good thing. All right, I guess that's all we'll really look at. All right, let me go ahead and get to the last couple comments here, and then we can wrap up. So Alicios, I do still play it. It's fun, but to start earning, let's say it requires months of playing daily and a few thousand in order to even start being in the top 1,000 and start earning. Interesting. So you can't earn too much at the lower levels. But is it fun though? Are you enjoying it? Oh, it's fun, but to start earning. Yeah. Huh. I don't know. Pancake Protector is something that I actually want to start up on my phone because I wonder if it'd be cool to do that whenever I'm just like bored. All right, so people are so emotional. I sold some CL packs to get nightmare packs, so I don't know if that's the best indicator of getting out. Yeah. Has Splinterlands Town Hall happened today already? Yeah, Adam. If you're just tuning in, I would recommend two things before you watch this or the replay of this. There was first an announcement about further layoffs and restructuring at the company, which I would highly recommend you give a quick read to. And then, of course, the town hall you can watch. It was 2 hours. Matt was leading it. Main announcement there is the restructuring has him as the CEO of Splinterlands now, with Aggie moving over to the GLX side of things. So I just woke up. Did I miss anything? I'm like the Amish. I don't watch TV. Oh, Stock Jockey. All right, yeah, guys, I gotta hop off. But Adam, Stock Jockey, anybody who's just tuning in now, there's a lot that you need to catch up on. You can watch the stream if you want. You can watch a video that I posted earlier. I would still recommend going and checking out the announcements of further staff reductions and restructuring. Again, main takeaway: Aggie is moving over to the GLS side. We'll focus on building out that platform. Matt is stepping up to be the CEO of Splinterlands. They're two separate companies now. So it is what it is. GLX spiked a bit too. Very cool. You guys take care. See you around. Icy Flow. It is a good day. Splinterlands is in a better position today than yesterday. Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, I will be live, I guess, I don't even know. They're not even doing maintenance tomorrow, but I'll try to hop on live tomorrow as per usual. I'm glad I was able to hop in today just for a little bit and chat with you guys. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope everybody's okay mentally, emotionally. If you need to chat, feel free to DM me. We can talk further. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It sucks. It sucks. I feel bad for the people involved. It's not a good reflection of where the game and the economy currently is. I will say that I am still cautiously optimistic and hopeful for the future. And yeah, it is what it is. But whatever happens, I'm here to ride through it with you guys. So have a good one. Talk to you soon. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Peace.